so welcome again to RBSL free tutorial. So in this lesson, I just want to show you my arsenal as a computer servicing repair technician, especially for my own computer units inside of my computer shop that I have as a business. One of the key things that I would suggest to you guys if you're going to be planning to put up a computer repair shop business, or let's say you want to have a computer shop rental business, is that you first invest in learning skills. And that's what I actually did. I refreshed my skill sets and took some course for familiarizing myself with computer repairs before I entered the computer shop business for computer rental business. So these are the basic tools. It's not yet complete because I'm still trying to raise the funds for me to be able to buy some of the other equipments that are quite necessary if you're going to be testing out computer system units that are not working. So, in this lesson guys, I'm just going to show you some of the basic tools that I use for repairing my own computer units and when I'm doing some computer servicing. So, as you can see here on the table, I have some equipments here. I also have my bag here. It's a retractable bag or a travel bag from where I keep all of my tools and equipment. So, the first thing that I want to discuss will be safety and health. If you're going to be repairing computer units, especially from other clients or clients that you will be getting from for your business, guys, I would really suggest that you purchase your health and safety protective equipment or PPE. One of which will be an N95, which is useful for protecting your respiratory system against small particles of dust, because part of the hazard that is present as a computer technician or a computer repair technician will be the dust that we might inhale, especially if you have a respiratory problem or allergies or allergic rhinitis. Dust little particles coming out from the computer can become quite harmful to your health. So it's really important that you consider having your PPE prepared before you go and repair computer system units of your clients. Okay? So I would suggest you buy a face mask, or most useful will be the N95 if you don't have an actual respirator. I also have some dust mask here, face mask, that I use for protecting myself against dust when I'm working. And I also have some gloves, especially if you're doing some cleaning on the desktop computer, the monitor. It's good that you have some sort of hand protection so that your hands will not get dirty too much when you're initially doing your cleanup. Okay? But you do not wear gloves that are prone to ESD or Electro-Static-Discharge, especially when you're already opening the computer unit. You can use this if, for example, you're just cleaning up the computer from the outside and you're trying to remove some dust, okay? So, right now, I have some surgical or medical gloves here. If I open this up, I usually do this if I'm doing cleanup outside of the computer unit. So, I have my gloves here. Okay? So I have some medical gloves that I use especially so that my hands will not get too dirty. I also have here my isopropyl alcohol, especially after you're done with your work. You would want to, of course, clean up your body and make sure that there are no more dirt and bacteria that might affect your health. So another equipment that I have here for cleaning up my computer is air blower. Actually, I learned this from a YouTube channel from where he uses a computer technician. I'm just going to leave the description in the bottom or in the description section of the channel to where I got the idea of using an air blower for cleaning up my desktop computers. And so far, it's been very useful. So here's the blower that I got from Lazada. So this is the one that I used initially for blowing off dust inside of my computer unit. So you can also use compressed air, guys. But the problem with this is a little bit expensive, and if you're going to be working on a lot of computer units, just imagine this one, it costs around 349 pesos. So it has limited servicing capability because it gets exhausted. The supply or the content will be easily discharged. Unlike if you have an air blower, then you would have something to use for removing the dust continuously for different computer units. As long as it doesn't get damaged or anything like that, you have your duster, initial duster for repairing your units. Okay. I also have here WD-40 Specialist Fast Drying Contact Cleaner. The non-conductive cleaner usually used for electrical equipment. So these are the initial tools that I use for the basic cleaning. Okay, let me just put this down here. So, if you don't have a tester, I normally have extra tools or parts of the computer that I use for testing out and troubleshooting my computers. Usually, if it's a problem with the power supply, I have a power supply that is working here. So, any power supply that will be compatible with the desktop computer that you're working on, you can try to have an extra power supply. So at least instead of using a tester for testing out the power supply in your computer unit, you will have an actual working power supply to test it out. I also have here some extra video cards that I use for testing out video capability of motherboards. So at least you have an extra video card that you would test out if a video card is not working or the video card of your computer unit is not working. You can test out your own. You know that this video card is working. Okay. So another tool that I have would be flashlights. Okay, it's important that I have flashlights for viewing some of the small parts of, especially when I'm disassembling it and if there's the light is a little bit dim and you want to further see better inside of your desktop computer. I also have a prepared extension of an extra lighting. If the lighting in your home or the lighting in the house of your client is not good, it will be good that you have some lighting with you. So we also have here an extra extension cord. So that would be usually for basic cleaning. So one of the other things that I have in my arsenal would be extra parts of the computer, such as an extra IDE, IDE cables that I know that are working. Okay. Okay, guys. I also make sure that I have some references that I use for reviewing some of the things that I might forget. I'm not a complete genius, guys. That's why I always maximize the use of references. Like for example, here I have printed out some types of the different screws that are available that you will be encountering when you are disassembling and assembling your computer units. I wanted to have references for, let's say, the type of threads. Okay, I printed this out so I would know the type of screws that you might encounter when you're dealing with disassembling your computers. So I would recommend that you keep notes that you can maximize and use. By the way, I also have some extra hard drive here, external hard drives that from where I also keep some of the softwares that I use for installing. And I have a scotch tape just in case. I also have my safety glasses available and ready, a lighter with a flashlight, Usually, again, if you don't have a big flashlight like this one, you can maximize the use of the smaller one for doing your repairs, okay? And it's a lot easier to handle. I also have some cotton buds that I use for cleaning some of the parts of the case. And of course, I also have a 3-in-1 cleaning kit here that I use for cleaning the monitor and LCD screen. So this one I just bought from CDR King. And here I also have here another video card. And for doing the software repairs, guys, I would suggest that this is going to be one of your most important equipment as a computer technician, especially if you will be dealing with a lot of different computer units. I normally would want to first research the model and brand of the computer. So here I have my laptop and my internet connection, just to make sure that I'll be able to find some sort of documentation about the computer before I try to touch the computer and do my repair. Okay? So besides from my hard copy books here that I use and printed out documentations that I have, such as this one that I actually also printed out and had it laminated, so that I will have some references with regards to the ports and so on, different parts of or different ports of your computer desktop unit. It's good that you have this as a reference. For example, you're not really the type of person that memorizes the terms, and especially if you're going to look at the numbers and serials or what these parts are called. At least you have some sort of reference that you can make use of. So, I also like to keep my tools here inside of my toolbox here, as you can see. I like my screws to be separated accordingly, so I have at least three of this. This one I use mainly when I'm already working in disassembling my computer units or the computers that my client want me to repair, so that I would usually separate each of the screws from where I took them and I arrange them accordingly, so at least I will not be having a difficult time knowing where I took those screws, and I can put them back from where I removed them. Okay? That's the reason why I have scotch tapes. Sometimes I use also some papers to take note of from where I go and place from where I remove those screws. So just remember, guys, when we say screwdrivers, you can have screwdrivers like this one. This one is called the benchmark. 6 pieces of homologue set for this made in China. This is a set of screwdrivers. We also have here optical cleaner kit that I use for blowing some dust off from my computers. So usually this one is quite good for small dust removing. You can remove some dust with it. If you want to go and remove some small dust or items that are stuck inside of your computer unit, this will be quite useful. So, what else? So I have extra cat cables here, extra power cords. I also have an extra VGA cable available and ready. So guys, one suggestion that I would recommend if you're going to be servicing a computer unit and the client will be bringing their computer unit, I would highly recommend that you just tell the client that they should just go and bring their CPU, their main computer unit. Don't tell them to bring the whole set. Okay? Why do I recommend this? I would say that this is important because sometimes, if for example the client goes to your workshop and they brought an extra VGA, they brought with them an extra power cord cable, keyboard, the mouse. Those things might be or left by the client, and or I would say that they might forget that they may have you may have repaired their computer units, then they went home and they forget that one part of their computer system unit is missing, like for example a VGA cable. Okay guys, so I would recommend that you don't tell your clients to bring their VGA power cord for the CPU, the mouse, and their keyboard, because you should have those readily available in your shop. Okay, so at least just in case you're already done repairing the computer's client, if for example you will not be forgetting to return those simple peripherals to your clients, let's say your client traveled to your place from Monumento or from a certain distance, and when he gets back home, he then suddenly finds out that one of his peripherals are missing because he forgot to get them from you while you're working. And remember, it's easy for you to misplace these things, these peripherals, especially if you have a lot of work or received computer units that you will need to repair. It's quite easy for you to misplace this, especially if you have a lot of extra peripherals like this one. Okay, so you don't want an irate client going back to you just simply because they cannot test out their computer units inside of their house because they forgot one of the peripherals that they brought to your shop, and you forgot to return it back to them. Okay, so that's just an advice. So another tools that you should have will be screwdrivers that you will be using for opening your desktop computers. Remember guys, when you say screwdrivers, the reason why I have a list here is because I wanted to make sure that you understand that having a list of the different thread or screws there's not just, especially there are a lot of screw heads that you need to be aware of. And what I'm saying here, it's important that you understand that there are just three main aspects for screwdrivers, guys. There are three things that you have to remember: the thread, the head of the screws, and their length. Okay, so technically in computer repairs, guys, it's important that you have different types of screwdrivers that is available in your arsenal. So perhaps we'll go and talk about the different types of thick thread screws or screw heads in another tutorial. So I also have here a clipper. Okay, if for example you drop some, you need to take something out of your computer system unit. I actually also invested in buying a magnifying glass here, just for you to be able to look at especially if you're looking for labels on the motherboard, it's a lot easier for you to look at those labels with a magnifying glass. Other tools that I have here are different types of brushes. Okay, I have some brushes that I use, soft and hard brushes here. Okay, for cleaning my computer units. So I have big ones and smaller ones. So I have another extra. Again, as I've said, I always keep an extra N95 available, ready for use in case I would need to repair some computer units. And I also have some extra rubber gloves here. I also have audio video cables just in case that I might need them. I have some some of these cables ready. Universal charger, especially if I would want to charge my internet connection, if your client doesn't have an internet connection. So screwdrivers. So let's talk about the different sizes of screwdrivers that you might need in a different tutorial list. But for now, I just want to show you some of the list here. I also have here my soldering iron. So I also have a prepared set of other tools here. So another most important parts or equipment that you might need to have would be a casing for your CDs, for your operating system drivers. That's one of the most important parts. The good thing about CDs or equipment that you need to have would be, if it's CDs, it's less prone to viruses. That's why I would recommend that you also have your installers kept inside of a CD. Okay. I actually also have an external CD drive, DVD writer. I just forgot to bring it here, but that's another one of the equipment that I use for. So I also have here my clipping tools and working tools here. I have my battery for my network tester. Okay, so I have a cable tester here. I also have the screws that are used for. So I have this as a set, guys. I also have some extra RJ45 here. So of course the locks, I also have some locks prepared for cable management for the computer units. I also have the crimper for the network cables prepared. Okay, especially if you're going to be dealing with a lot of computers, and part of the service that you'll be providing to your client will be network. Okay, I also have here an extra bag here. I have a glue gun, just in case that you might need to glue something on your board. I have some soldering iron here. These are soldering materials that you will be using for soldering small parts. Of course, the soldering paste, that will be important for soldering. And I also have here our thermal paste. I have a thermal paste prepared, ready for my CPU. SATA cables here. I always also carry an extra cable plug like this one, just in case that some computer units might need to have one of this in their computer cables. At least you have an extra cable like that prepared. I also have here some anti-static or anti-ESD tools. Okay, I have here my anti-static wristband. This is very important, guys, for ESD, to protect the computer units that you're working on. You won't be damaging your computer units, especially with electro-static-discharge. Some technicians don't technically use this anymore, but I would still highly recommend it, because we might never know, guys. You might damage your motherboard, your small electrical circuits with your electrostatic discharge, guys, coming from your body. So I'll be making a separate video on how to use this, guys. But at least you should know that it's important that you also have these tools like electrostatic discharge mat Okay, ESD mat. We have the ESD wristband that you normally connect to either the mat or to any ground on your computer. So what else do I have here? I also keep a whiteboard marker ready just in case that I might need to write something, of course. I also have here some glue gun. Okay, I have an extra syringe. What else? Of course, a scissor just in case that you might need to cut some cables. Okay, you might need to, but actually, when it comes to cutting cables, you can already use your crimper here. Okay, but just in case, it's good that you have ready and other different screwdrivers prepared. Okay, I have some screwdrivers here. One other key note that I just want to explain, guys, will be this one. Okay guys, so I would really recommend that you have this technician's client computer unit documentation. As you can see here, I'll just leave a general PDF that you can use for this, guys. But the main thing here would be for you to have a client computer unit documentations, name of your client, address, client unit type, unit model, unit serial number, date of purchase, mobile number, desktop, laptop, client's concern, terms and conditions, your technician's recommendation, then of course scope of work. That will be good that you have a scope of work. Then client computer unit specification, like the power supply unit, the model, the serial number, unit and wattage, hard disk drive or SSD, CD, DVD-ROM, the RAM, the graphics card unit, motherboard, processor, PCIe slots that are present in your client's computer system unit. This will be good for your protection and of course for the protection of your client. Okay, it's good that you have this documentation. Don't worry, I'm going to be leaving a PDF copy of this. I'm just going to remove the main title here so that you will be able to use this as a template for your own documentation. Okay. Lastly will be, perhaps I would want to go and also emphasize the importance of having some extra RAM. I always, as I told you earlier, have some extra available working components that you might be able to use for testing out and troubleshoot the computer of your client. So it's good that you keep some extra components like memory RAM or random access memory. I also have here a DVI converter because your client may have a different type of connector that you might need to use for the computer of your client. It's good that you have an extra DVI video connector like this one that converts VGA cables. I would also highly recommend having a lot of erasers. Okay, this is one of our important tools, especially in cleaning up some memory RAMs. Okay, and a CMOS, extra CMOS would also be good if in case you don't have a CMOS tester, guys. If you have an extra CMOS battery, well, that will be a good way for you to troubleshoot the computer of your client. If you think that it's a CMOS battery issue, at least you have a new CMOS battery that you can use for testing it out. Right now, I don't have a CMOS battery tester, and I also don't have a power supply tester. So instead of using testers, I have extra computer parts such as the battery and the power supply and the VGA cables, keyboard, mouse. I have some of those extra tools that are available that I can use to test out my client's computer. Okay. Okay guys, I also have a small magnet here from where I can use it for example. I have some screws here. I can use it to keep some of the screws together So at least the screw will not be misplaced, especially if I'm going to be working with that screw. I place it on top of the magnet first, okay, like this one. Okay, so it's good that you have some sort of magnet from where you can put your screws. Just don't get that magnet close to the computer unit, okay? That will just be a place from where you put some of the screws that you will be working on some of your projects here. I also have some cleaning cloth here, okay, extra cleaning cloth. So hopefully you learned a lot in this lesson, guys. Perhaps I'm going to be updating this once I already have some funds to buy some of the other tools and equipment that I want to acquire. But for now, that will be the tools that I would suggest that you have, that is actually already giving me an opportunity to repair my own computers and deal with handling my computers. And also, if someone wants me to repair their computers, I am already able to test out and check out and do computer repair servicing. Okay? So, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.